Today I wanted to talk about being an introvert. Um, I know it might sound silly to some people, but it's like a big part of who I am. I feel like most people don't understand me and my introversion because they're extroverts for the most part. But I'll start off my story by saying, like, I've always been the quiet girl. Not just the quiet girl, but like the quietest girl in the room. I've just always been that way since I was in pre-K. Nobody even knew I had a voice while I was in school growing up. I didn't start really talking until I was like in middle school and I was with my friends after school. Even in high school, I was extremely quiet. I'm quiet now. The only time you hear me talk is when I'm around people that I know very well. And I always thought as a child or when I was younger that there was something wrong with me. But as I grew into an adult, I discovered something amazing, guys. Amazing. There is a whole community out there, people who think just like me. Just like me. Believe it or not. I'm not crazy. And I don't feel bad for being the way that I am. Well, in some aspect, I should say. But I try to embrace it. And I try to understand it more. So that's what really got me into the whole psychology thing. I'm really big on psychology. I took a course while I was in high school and I've just always been into it, and although I'm not like in college studying for it now, I do it as fun on my free time. Like, I think learning the human mind is like an amazing thing. So I'm going to stop talking about the whole psychology aspect, and I want to let you know a little bit how I think, and maybe some people can understand why I do things the way I do it and not get offended or hurt because I do it. So I had to take out my tablet for this one, but it's one of the websites that I found. It gives you like a list of things that only introverts would understand. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but I'll go through like some of like the main things that relates to me in a lot of ways. But one of them says when you need to take breaks and recharge after socializing for too long. And that is me to a T. If I hung out with a group of people on Friday and I hung out with a group of people on Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to need absolutely no contact with anyone. I mean, no one. Just hugging people and talking to your neighbor, as the pastors say in church, is too much socializing for me at that point. I just need to be left alone by myself for the rest of the day and just like hang out with my pets. Like, being around so many different personalities in such a short amount of time, like, is so overwhelming. And when it gets too much, like, I just kind of like shelter myself, or I would get even quieter than I am. And people who aren't introverts don't understand that. It's nothing personal. It's just, it's overwhelming for introverts after a while. And I think once extroverts understand that, they would, you know, be a little understanding to us introverts. Another one is when your friend wants to invite more people over or to any type of event, and you don't want to sound like mean by saying like no. Okay, I get along great with like close friends, like small groups of close friends. If it's too much and this friend is inviting that friend and I'm not familiar with that friend too well, then it becomes a problem for me. Like, now I'm getting overwhelmed again. I'm getting extra quieter. I kind of just hide under my little shell or hide in my shell, and it's just too much. I can talk to you one-on-one. If I'm close to you and we're talking one-on-one, like, you would never know that I'm an introvert. But because now all of these other personalities are around me, it's not working. It's not going to work. Like, I can't do it. It's too much. I'm going to get quiet. I'm going to rather be somewhere else. Not there. Somewhere else. Probably home. When spending a heavenly weekend alone means that you're missing out on time with friends. Again, I love hanging out with my friends, my closest friends, and I love hanging out on weekends. But hanging out with friends or just anyone, not just friends or family, like every single day of the week, like that's too much for me. That's like too much socializing. Again, overwhelming, and I'll feel like I'm having a mental breakdown, and I would need to like regroup and recharge because I just can't exert that much energy all the time. Having visitors stay with you is a nightmare because it means you have to be on it at all times. You have to feel like you have to always socialize with them if family is staying over. So if it's not, of course, when you're in the house with your immediate family, they're off doing their own thing. They're watching TV. You don't have to like really entertain them. But when family comes in from out of town, like you feel like you need to be entertaining them the whole time that they're there, which I can't do. I can't do it for 24/7. I told you again, it's too much. It's overwhelming. I can't do it. So unfortunately, I do tend to stay out of the house a lot more if family comes over and if they're staying like for a while, or I would be in my room a lot. And I would come out when there are like a lot of other people around. So if I stop talking or I don't feel like talking anymore, there's always somebody there who would jump in and help out and take that awkwardness out of there. It's too much work. Again, overwhelming. When people stop inviting you places because they keep canceling plans, I can't really say that because I don't cancel plans. I would just not agree to it if I don't want to do it, but I usually always say yes to everything. Believe it or not, like I like leaving the house, I like doing things, I just don't like socializing all the time and for long periods of time. Too many social obligations, no alone time. I kind of touched on that already. Group projects. Kill me. Kill me now. No. I don't want to talk to you. Most likely if we're doing a group project, I don't know you that well, so me trying to communicate with you is not going to go very well. I'm going to get quiet, I'm going to want to do my own work, and I am not going to want to work with you. And there's nothing against you. I love you. I just don't want to talk to you. When you arrive at a party, doesn't want to leave early, no one seems to understand your distress. I don't like parties for the same reasons I've mentioned before. I will go to a party because a friend invited me, but when I'm ready to go, I want to go. And usually it's like a few minutes in. And it's especially worse if, of course, I'm not that close with anyone there, or if I have that one friend that I'm close to, but they're throwing the party, so I'm going to be kind of left alone most of the time. And with people I don't know or want to know, it becomes a problem. I don't like parties, and usually when I get to a party, I'm ready to go within a few minutes. It's just how I am. I can't help it. That's just how I feel. When you hear, "Are you okay?" or "Why are you so quiet?" for the umpteenth time. Guys, I'm okay. I just don't want to talk. I have nothing to say. Very simple. I have nothing to say. Stop asking me if I'm okay. I promise you, I'm fine. On this list, this is trying to be extra outgoing when you flirt so your crush doesn't think you hate them, but honestly, I don't really know how to flirt. I don't know. And usually my way of flirting, or if I have a crush on someone, is if I'm like extra mean to you. If I'm mean to you and I'm insulting you more than a couple times, that's a good chance that I like you. It's not really flirting. That's just being mean. If I'm being nice to you, like if you've never heard me say anything mean about you and I've known you for a while, you've been friend zoned. Sorry, Very, very sorry to say. The feeling of dread that washes over you when the phone rings and you're not mentally prepared to chat. This is the main thing. Listen, guys, if you know me, you know I do not like talking on the phone. If I answer your call, you should feel so damn lucky. You are a lucky person. You consider yourself lucky. I don't answer the phone. If I answered the phone to you, you are a special person in my book. I have a difficult time just answering the phone to my dad. Sometimes it would take me days, even weeks to call him back. And it doesn't mean that I love that person any less or any more. I just don't like talking on the phone. If it can be said in a text message, send a text message. Please, for the love of God. I love you. Just send me a text message. Don't call. Don't call. When people pressure you to be more social, it's not going to work. Sorry about that. And then when you get excited to go out, and as the day gets closer, you realize, no, you really don't want to go out anymore, and you'd rather stay at home in your PJs watching TV. Yeah. When people are trying to talk to you while you're trying to work. Like, why are you talking to me? I'm trying to work. Please, go away. Shoot. When people make you feel weird from wanting to do things by yourself. Like, I enjoy my alone time so much. Like, I like running errands by myself. I like watching TV by myself. I like driving the car by myself. I like shopping. Well, I don't like shopping, but if I have to shop, I would rather do it by myself. And I used to think that that was a bad thing when I was younger. But as I got older, I realized it's perfectly normal. So overall, being an introvert means that I love people and I love being around people, but I just don't like being around people all the time. I don't like socializing all the time, and I like to be quiet and I like to be by myself most of the time. I prefer smaller groups. I prefer staying in the house and hanging out with friends if I could. Going out and with big groups and crowds is okay if it's a once in a while thing. And if I'm quiet, I'm not mad. I just don't want to do anything. I just don't want to talk. Like, I don't like small talk. I want to talk about this more in depth with my Myers-Briggs personality system. Like, that really describes my personality to a T. So I'm going to talk about that probably in later videos and stuff like that, and what personality type I am and the types of personalities that I get along with the best. And I think that would really help more, because there's there's different types of introverts. So I'm going to explain to you exactly the types of introverts out there. And maybe if people know about this, they can get an understanding of other people's personality and understand the way they think and why they think that way. And that there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Anyways, I gotta go because I just came home from the gym and I gotta jump. I can't even talk right now. I gotta jump in the shower and get ready for bed. I'm tired. I'm tired.